Not too long ago, I mentioned to you guys that I was working on a mod pack to celebrate me hitting 20,000 subscribers, and the first version is finally ready! Slimeium is a 1.4.3 T-Mod Loader mod that makes slimes extremely useful, alongside adding a ton of new slime-related content and references to Terraria itself, like Pinky's Revenge, which is exactly what we'll be looking at in this video. Before jumping into it, I recommend using Recipe Browser alongside Slimeium to see all of the crafting recipes, or something like Cheat Sheet to just spawn them all in. And secondly, if you want to keep up with everything happening with the mod pack, I made a special Discord server just for that, which I'll have in the description alongside the workshop link for Slimeium. With all that out of the way, let's begin. Like I've already mentioned, this mod started out as my 20,000 special, and what better thing to do than give you guys a way to benefit as I grow, which is exactly what this mod does. Firstly, we have Slime's Sword, which will have its damage increase as more people subscribe to my channel, with it dealing 20,000 base damage currently. After that, we have Discord's Dagger, which is a small melee weapon whose damage will increase as people join my Discord server, with it dealing 2,000 base damage right now. The sword's damage will be updated every 5,000 subs, while the Discord Dagger will be increased every 1,000 instead, and they each require multiple zeniths to craft, giving you something to work for even after beating normal Terraria. Now, the big question you're probably waiting for me to answer is, what's the point of having weapons deal that much damage? Which is where Pinky's Revenge comes in. This is the first boss I decided to add to the pack, and it's another thing that will get stronger as my channel grows. Meaning you will have to use Slimeium's endgame gear to even stand a chance against it. Pinky's Revenge will have a very rare chance to spawn in the desert, and will always drop a zenith when defeated, which you will need a lot of to make all of the endgame gear in the mod. And the last thing that's neat about this boss has to do with its name, which a few of you already may have noticed. It's a reference to an old Terraria YouTube video where someone made King Slime massive and named the video Pinky's Revenge. Next, I thought we would take a look at the real stars of the mod pack, which are all of the summonable slimes. This mod pack adds in a ton of new summoner weapons, which you'll have to craft throughout your whole playthrough, with the first few only needing a small amount of gel, and the last ones requiring multiple zeniths. While I won't go over all the slimes here, since that would end up taking the majority of this video, I will go over the ones I think are the most interesting, starting with boss slimes. Both the Queen and King Slime are summonable minions, which you can get towards the end of hard mode. After that, we have a Rainbow Slime one, which you're able to get as soon as you're in hard mode. But you will have to get lucky with your drop rates, since it requires a blessed apple. Next, we have the Shimmer Slime, which you're actually able to make at the very start of the game, but it won't deal too much damage. Moving on, we have the Big Pinky and Gold Slime ones, which you'll be able to craft after you beat Moonlord. And finally, we have both the Shadow Slime and what I'm calling the Old Slime, which are both slimes that were in the console versions of Terraria, but were removed alongside the other console-exclusive items. Like I said before, there is a lot more summonable slimes, with most of them being obtainable before hard mode. But we'll move on now to not make this video drag on. For this next section, I thought we would take a look at the new enemies. To craft any slime-related item, you will need gel, and most of the time pink gel as well. So the new slime enemies make gel farming much easier to do. Firstly, we have two mini-bosses, which can give you extremely good loot, but have low spawn rates, which are the Mega and Ninja Slime, which are both old sprites for King Slime. Next, we have both the King and Queen Slime as mini versions, with the King Slime being a rare spawn anywhere slimes spawn, and the Queen Slime only being a rare spawn in the Hallow biome. Next, we have the Big Pinky and the Mixed Slime, which are both pretty common spawns and give you small amounts of each gel type. After that, we again have both of the console-exclusive slimes, with the Old Blue Slime being a common spawn in the overworld, and the Shadow one being a common spawn underground. And finally, we have the Baby Slime, normally summoned with the Slime Staff, as a rare ocean enemy that is super strong, but will give you good loot if you manage to defeat it. Moving on, I'm gonna go over all the extra stuff, which just isn't big enough for its own section. Firstly, there are another 4 swords that you can craft throughout the game, but they aren't meant to be super powerful compared to the slimes, so I'm not gonna go in depth on them here. Speaking of melee weapons, my head is also a weapon you can get, with it actually being the strongest weapon in the game, dealing 100,000 damage, but it has a very small range and is hard to craft, so you may not want to go after it. While weapons are neat, we also have 2 new accessories, with the first being Pinky's Boot. which you can craft at the start of the game and will allow you to summon 2 more minions, while also increasing your jump height and running speed. And the second accessory is called Slime Collar, which does more of everything the Pinky Spoot does, like allowing you to summon all slimes while greatly increasing your speed and jump height. And finally, let's talk about my plans for this mod pack. To start, this pack isn't meant to compete with the huge ones like Calamity and the newer Starlight River. Rather, this is just meant to be a fun pack that I'll keep adding content to. I'm clearly not the most skilled coder, with me having to use multiple example mods to get the understanding of it. But as I learn more and better stuff will be added. As for what I'm gonna add, besides new weapons, bosses, and other normal stuff, I'm gonna be adding whatever you guys want, assuming I can get it to work. So, leave your ideas in the comments and we'll see what I can do. Another thing you guys are most likely wondering about is when and if I'll port it to 1.4.4, which is something I'm already working on. I wanted to make sure that both versions of this mod would work, but the 1.4.4 version is taking a bit longer to code, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. And finally, I do also plan on having limited timed events in this mod, where if you play it on specific dates, you'll be able to get special items you otherwise won't be able to get normally. That wraps up our look into my first ever Terraria mod. If you made it this far in the video, comment pink slime to let me know. And also tell me what you'd want to see in this mod pack. Thanks for sticking to the end. Be sure to like and subscribe to increase the sword's damage. And as always, make sure to have a wonderful day.